Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the Talk Podcast. From today on, I will be dedicating at least 3 episodes all around the topic of strong and independent women. The ones who always love to shout out how they don't need a man because they can do everything on their own. Or the other side is, I don't need a relationship because I have things going on for myself. I am single by choice. Well, whoever wants to believe that, good for you, but that is not reality. That is not the truth. Well, there might be a very, very small percentage of women who really chose to be single. They don't want anything to do with men. They are lesbians. They just don't want to share life with a partner. They don't want to have a family, but that is not the majority. So when you hear women saying, I have things going on for myself, I don't need a man, I don't need a relationship, it actually translates into the kind of man that I want doesn't want me. The top guy, the high caliber, the good looking, the most successful guy that I would want in my life is not attracted to me, or I cannot attract him into my life. The guys that I am actually attracting, who are showing me attention, who want to get into a relationship with me, who are pursuing me for commitment, those guys, in my eyes, in that woman's eyes, are below, they're beneath me. So obviously the next step is, I don't want to settle. So they have this idea that they are the best ever, they are on the top, while they have, most likely that's what happens a lot, never prioritized relationship, always prioritized a job or a career or going outside or self-love and all these things that are not beneficial to getting what you want in future. And then they start getting older and older, and then this independency nonsense hits even harder. The I don't want to settle nonsense hits even harder. I'm a boss chick, I'm this, I'm that. It is a delusion that they need to feed themselves even more, because otherwise reality would be really harsh and painful. And we don't want that. We don't want to live in reality because it's painful. We will create any delusion just to comfort ourselves and to feed the feelings that we have. So a lot of the times when women say that, it's not true. Most women want a relationship. It's just that the guy that they want don't want them. The woman that they should be, they never learned how to be. It's not in the feminine. They have become so masculine that they are not able to attract the good men, the protectors, the provider, the high caliber man, the highly attractive men. All these things are past them. So now they don't want to admit to themselves that this is what I can get. Average or whatever the case may be, they don't, because they have taken this sense of being average as an insult, which is not. But this idea of I don't need a man, it only goes for so long. So depending on when you start dipping into the nonsense, it might be very hard for you to jump out of it, right? You've dived into the pool so deep, maybe it's hard for you to get up again. But there are also another group of women who, close to the end of their 20s, after following all the sisterhood and the feminist movement and all these stuff, suddenly realize, I don't actually want to do this. This is not fun. This is not who I am. This is actually sad. It's boring. I've seen it all. I've been shouting and yelling and supporting all these girls, but it's not getting me anywhere. And then they wake up and they start to realize genuinely that they need to change something. But then there are also some who are just looking for a scapegoat, right? They are looking for someone to start and simp for them to make their miserable life that they have created for themselves now easier and better. So it starts going to your 20s, the end of the 20s, starting into your early 30s. And for those who have kids, it hits even harder, right? The I need a man starts when your life gets really rough and the bills are hard. The bills are heavy on the shoulders. Things are not moving your way. All your social circle, your friends, your family members have moved on. They have their own family. There's no one there to validate your nonsense. There's no one there to, spend the nightlife all the time. And then you start realizing, oh, maybe I do need a man. And now it gets very frustrating because for those who genuinely understood, look, I made a mistake. I never wanted to become this person. I never wanted to buy into this feminist nonsense. They are going to do the work needed, right? If it's seeking therapy, if it's working on themselves in terms of becoming a better person, healthier person, taking courses how to become more feminine, if that makes sense, or taking cooking classes, or actually even investing money into a matchmaker, things like that. People who genuinely understand, oh, I slipped on the way, this is not who I am, they will do what it takes to get back on the right path. And not because of just solely, oh my God, I'm scared to die alone and selfish needs. No, because they are the feminine one. They want to be wives, they want to be moms, they want to have a family. And if they understand that quick enough, they will do what is needed to change. But for the bigger group who is not genuine, who don't respect man, who don't respect the family values, who don't respect anything but their selfish needs, they are really just looking for someone to call into their life, someone who's going to be a fool and fall for the nonsense. And that's how you see suddenly this movement of soft girl era, yeah, which I don't even know how we always come up with these words. Is there like a meeting where women go to and they come up with these crazy words? I don't even understand. Is there like a convention? Is this inspired by feminism? I don't know. But they all group up and meet up at some place, I guess, and have the same vocabulary. It is just insane. And I already know for the first few minutes of what I have said, there are going to be women who are going to comment or talk about with the other friends and say things like, that is not true. I don't need a man. I would rather be single by choice instead of being in some toxic, narcissistic, abusive relationship. I bet you there are going to be women who are going to say exactly that, because even they have never experienced it. They will live by things that they heard. They will live by things that they have seen in some weird movies. They will live by the narrative that has been pushed for decades now, that men are the ones who are evil and relationships are bad, and if you become a wife, you're enslaved and all that nonsense. Even they have never experienced it. They are crying, suffering and smiling. They are crying at home, wishing for a good life to share with someone. But because of this nonsense of sisterhood, they feel so pressured that they cannot speak out. They cannot say it. They cannot say, look, I do actually want to be loved. I do actually want to be taken care of. I do actually want to be able to lean back and have a man support me. I do want a stronger man than me, a better man than me, a smarter man than me, because then it's going to make it easier for me to trust his leadership. I do want someone taking care of me. I do want someone that I can cater to. Like, it is the most common thing, the best, beautiful, and most natural thing ever. But we have become a society that, I don't know why, but women have joined each other, right? And put pressure on each other to hate against the most natural. And I bet you there are going to be women who are going to say exactly these sentence. Oh, I'd rather be alone instead of being with some toxic, abusive relationship. Oh, cut it, okay? I'm going to show you guys a clip that explains exactly the other side of women, the ones who've been city girls, boss chicks, career women who just having an average job, the rebellious, the rebellious nature that lasted for far too long, that you've wasted your prime years, and then suddenly you wake up and you're like, oh, I need a man because I'm so sick and tired of paying my own bills. I'm so sick and tired of doing this and that, and I just want someone to help me fix my tires and stuff like that. Well, that's not how it works. That is not how it works, and I wish that is not how it works, because one thing for sure, men are waking up. They're not falling for that nonsense anymore. And the other thing is, just think about it in a different way. If that was your brother, or if that was your son, would you be happy for your son or your brother to have a woman in his life who just wants him for her gain, for money, for the things that he can do, but not willing to actually be with that person, not genuinely want to be with that person, not kind-hearted, not caring, not in her feminine, not, would you want that? I don't think so. So we need to cut the bullshit. We really need to cut the bullshit, not just sometimes, but actually always. I'm going to add the clip and you guys tell me what you think.